Welcome back, everyone, to the FloTrack podcast. I am Kevin, remote, joined by Gordon, who's also remote, harkening back to the olden days. We're not in the same room. We're not even in the same house. We're in a bit of a lull in the track and field season. Mr. Mack, how you doing?
Yeah, we're timing our transitioning of studios with the transitioning of the track and field world going from a vibrant Diamond League once a week to nothing now for like 3 weeks before World starts in mid-August. So we're kind of taking it easy here, chilling out. We're moving our podcast to 6 p.m. these next three podcasts, and then we'll be going live after every Worlds at, I think it's 3 p.m. Central is when Worlds is over every day. So they'll be, man, if we were doing a podcast like when it was in Beijing, when Worlds was like 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Central, that would have been hell. I'm happy. I'm happy when Worlds is at a normal time. So I'm very appreciative of that.
We also appreciate the people watching live on YouTube. And if you're watching live on YouTube, you can watch Gordon try to podcast into the sun. I've never seen this before in all the video podcasts out there. Gordon's basically like playing center field for the Yankees on a 2 p.m. start date. Oh, what? Yeah. Oh, now he's covering. You don't have blinds, Gordon? What happened?
I have no
blinds in the Mac house. Oh, wow.
There are no blinds in my office.
I like it.
No blinds in my office.
It kind of adds a different dimension to the show. I'm enjoying it. Should I check, speaking of YouTube, should I check to see if me pulling up YouTube and reading the comments is going to crash my computer or not?
It probably will. So maybe I'll just bring up the comments.
Are you going to be in charge of that then?
I can be in charge of it. How do you do it? What's the process of reading the comments?
What's your strategy? youtube.com, and then you hit return at that point.
You know what I mean.
Look at the good. It gives you a flavor of what people are talking about. And if there's something funny or interesting, I bring it up. I don't necessarily interrupt you unless it's something that immediately, corrects you. But you can bring it up because while you bring it up, I want to talk about our sponsor, Gordon. Is that okay?
Hit it. Hit me.
Wonderful Pistachios. Are you looking for a delicious and nutritious snack that packs a real protein punch? Crack into a good source of protein with tasty, healthy, wonderful pistachios. Each 1 ounce serving of wonderful pistachios contains 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. It's one of the highest protein nuts out there, but that's not all. Pistachios are known for their fiber and better for you unsaturated fats, which may help keep you feeling fuller longer. And the best part, you thought I got to the best part, didn't you, Gordon?
No, what is it? What's the best part? Tell me.
Here's the best part. Wonderful pistachios come in a variety of flavors and sizes, perfect for enjoying with your family and friends or taking them with you on your summer adventures. So whether you're dropping off the kiddos or running between meetings, fuel up with a healthy and tasty snack. Wonderful Pistachios will be your new go-to snack. Check out wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more about how these little green wonders can power up your day. Thank you to Wonderful Pistachios for sponsoring. Gordon, did you locate the chat?
I did locate the chat.
Okay.
And I'm going to start. What?
Sometimes the chat does tech support too. Sometimes the chat will be like, hey, Gordon's mic's off or something like that. So that's why it's also helpful.
I'm going to start by highlighting commentator Trinidad Rodriguez, who said Asinga is more of a college threat, not elite yet.
Ooh.
He only ran 10:05 2 months ago. I don't know if that's true. I don't think this guy is just a college threat. I think he's a medal contender threat. When you look at the dynamics of the field that we're going to have in Budapest, which we'll get into later on in the podcast, running 989, win legal, beating someone of the caliber of Noah Lyles earlier in the year, Asinga is not just a cool young guy, teenager coming on, surprising everyone's story. You know, all those stories we have of the cool young teenager kid surprising everyone's story. You know, everyone.
Yep.
Everyone knows those stories.
Well,
he's not just one of those.
Fan favorite.
He's a legit medal contender in my opinion. Guy run 9.8. There's not many runners in the world right now running 9.8. Sure, there are people who can hit the 9.7s, But right now, there's very few 9.8. He's the fourth fastest time win legal in the world. And he seems like he's only getting better. And he has some legitimate wins over some legitimate athletes, notably Noah Lyles. So I don't know. Seeing this run, 989, we've been waiting for him to get a win legal run at this caliber. I think he's going to go even faster 3 weeks from now. I think he can be a low 9.8 guy. Now, him medaling is going to be hard. Again, he's only a teenager, but he is someone that for sure the Omanyalas, the Curleys, the Colemans, the Hughes of this world need to watch. He's not going to be there just for fun. He's going to be a legit guy who's going to have a lane in that final who could surprise and maybe get a medal.
I think you did a good job summing it up. Now, 989, that's a much different time than 980 or 981.
How
but
different
I think
is it?
with the
Is it like 0.09 different?
Well, you just keep saying he's a 9.8 guy now, and yeah, technically he is, or saying he ran 9.8 leaves a little bit for interpretation. I'm just clarifying.
Sure.
Still a U20
yeah,
record.
Yeah.
I was on this show last week. Was it last week? I believe it was last week. Time is standing still a bit. And who did I say could win gold
Tobogo.
in the 100? Right. So I would be a hypocrite to be on the show this week and say that Asinga couldn't win a medal, at the very least, couldn't win a medal. Now, Tobogo has more international experience. So, all right, he probably has an edge, even though Asinga just took the U20 record from him. But you have to look at the event that he's entering into, the 100, that has been filled with parity, that has had nobody really assert themselves, nobody drop a crazy fast time. You said if he runs 9.8s, he can be in the mix of the medal. If he runs 9.8, he's going to medal. He's going to medal. I think that's going to be enough to medal given the times that we've seen this year and the performances that we've seen this year. I think if he runs how he's been running, he's going to be right there. Now, an interesting thing to think about with him. He's a high schooler, yes, but has he run a traditional high school schedule? Not really.
No.
Not really, which is good this time of year, because this time of year, you're looking at how many races they've run, and you're looking at how many times they've really had to go to the well and expend themselves. He hasn't. When most kids were running tri-meets in April, he was racing Noah Lyles. He is not a normal high school runner. He beat Noah Lyles. So is he going to run out of gas? Maybe. Maybe it's still a long season for a kid of that age. But he's also not following the same pattern, Gordon, as kids his age.
So he's run 4 indoor races, but really only 2 meets. He ran Millrose in February, and then he ran New Balance Nationals, which was 3 races in the 60. So he ran 2 indoor races, 2 indoor meets. He's run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meets at running the 100, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meets running the 200. So
right.
He started his season at the outdoor season end of March at the Florida State Relays. Then he went to run the Florida Relays. He's running a collegiate season. He goes to Florida State Relays, to the Florida Relays, goes to the Hurricane Alumni Invite. Then he starts running in Claremont, going to the Pure Athletics Spring Invite, goes to Lubbock, and now he's running in Brazil at the South American Athletics Championships, where he ran his 989. I mean, also, he ran a 10:03 into a headwind in the prelims.
Right. Okay, but here's the thing. You said he's running a college season, minus a couple things, though. Did he run a conference meet where he had to run 5 events?
No. Is he running the
Did he run
4x4?
NCAAs?
No.
Is he running NCAAs? Right.
No.
The 2, what most collegians would consider 2 of the most taxing meets of the year, he didn't have to run. So yeah, he's not quite a pro athlete, not quite on a pro schedule, not quite on a college schedule, certainly not on a high school schedule. This is a hybrid combination of things that Asinga is piecing together with his coach, and you have to hand it to them because they've been awfully successful. And now we're only a couple weeks out from the World Championships, and he's running faster than he has.
Do you know how many times he's run 9.8 this year?
Well, with wind, it's like 3, isn't it?
4. This is the 4th time.
Yeah.
He had 3 other
again,
9.8s albeit
Right.
windy. Is it
Yeah.
albeit or is albite? How do you say that word? Albeit,
No, you did
albite.
it right. You did it. You did it right the first time. Don't
I
run
did
away
right
from
the first time.
success, Gordon.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
won't.
yeah.
He's run 9.8 4 times. Yes,
Yeah.
most of them are windy, but hey, and it's not like this was a 1.9 wind. This was zero point 0.8. It wasn't even that much wind.
So here's the thing, too. You brought up the other factor, which is the head-to-head stuff. He beat Lyles. He's got a win over Lyles. Lyles made the U.S. team, so that is a win that counts. There's currency with that win, and then he also has the fast times. So right now, I think he is I'll say Issam Asinga can win a medal at the World Championships, partly because of how good he is, also in part because of how wide open the men's 100 is right now.
Yeah. Speaking of how wide open the men's 100, while Asinga's doing his thing, some of the top guys have been getting some L's.
Mm-hmm.
Omanyala, who Michael Johnson tabbed as his pick to win the world final,
Yeah.
he's like, he tweets out Ferdinand Omanyala is going to win it, and then a week later, Omanyala gets a loss in the 100.
Yeah.
We have a video here of that loss, and it wasn't a loss to like a Fred Curley or Coleman or a Simbene. It was kind of a low key, like unknown who beat him. Now,
Und das war der Startschuss.
Well,
Rein
Daffy's
geht's
been running really
auf
well.
die
Like,
100
not even
Meter.
unknown at it when he didn't lose to like a medal guy. He lost to a.
Mhm.
It takes talent to beat Omanyala, but he didn't lose to a Curly, Coleman, Lyles type. He lost to,
He's
a
on 9-9 this year, though.
Yeah,
He's on
but it's a
9-9 this
tier B guy. It's a tier B. It's not a tier A. I mean, I'll get in trouble again with my tiers, but no one
But
is.
what are the tiers this year? No one knows what the tiers are this year.
Well, I
Go
have
ahead,
tiers.
Go ahead.
There's 9
I'll
people
let
in
you
my
finish your
tier
point.
A, but he's not in the tier. But anyway,
Okay.
he got a loss, which is notable because now he's going into Worlds with a loss as his most recent race. Also,
Yeah.
speaking of losses, someone like DeGrasse, who, let's be honest, none of us were thinking we're going to be in the medal contention for the 100.
Yeah.
But Andre DeGrasse not even making the final at the Canadian National Championships is
Yeah.
wild to think about. And
Yeah.
he kind of had a wild weekend where he doesn't make the final in the 100. He runs 10:21, doesn't make a final, but then comes back in the 200 and wins it, getting a win over a strong Aaron Brown. His 200 win makes me think, hey, maybe DeGrasse, he is able to anchor that 4x1 for Canada to the gold last year. He may be a sneaky medal threat in the 200. So DeGrasse had an interesting weekend. What were your thoughts on Omanyala's loss and your thoughts on DeGrasse's loss/win in the 200?
So with Omanyala, I expected him to win, obviously, like anybody else. But then you look at it in the context of 2023, and I don't think we should be surprised by any of these guys losing, right? There's not that much separation between these tiers. There's not the separation between, oh, this is a Diamond League guy, and this is a guy who's a little bit below Diamond League, or this is a semifinalist this year, and this is a finalist, or this is a finalist and a medalist. This year in the men's 100, anybody can be beaten. It seems at any time by a large group of people. For DeGrasse, the 100 follows kind of the pattern. He's been struggling this year and is, dealing with injuries and stuff. But like you, I'm looking at the silver lining here. The 200, making the winning the Canadian championships, which is not hard to do, or not easy to do in the current state. Like Canadian men's sprinting right now is pretty damn good. So to win that one, it's still going to be very tough to crack into that group. But remember, where he won his gold in Tokyo was in the 2. Like the 2 is where he's reached the pinnacle of the sport. So yeah, it's fun to have another person in the 200. I think we were expecting a little bit more of a challenge from some of the other non-US guys this year, and that ultimately hasn't come to fruition. So it's nice that DeGrasse is stepping in there, giving a little bit more competition. So you could put him in there with Tobogo as one of the guys who could challenge and try to break up an American sweep.
So to wrap up this conversation on the 100, I wanted to create a new game, and you are going to be the first and last contestant of this game. And we need to put stakes in this game. So I'm hoping that you're willing to do a little bit of some wagering per question.
Yeah,
So what
for
I'm
sure.
going to do is I'm going to ask you how many questions? I'm going to ask you 12 questions.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you think you can get right
12.
of the 12? You can go 12 for
Yeah,
12?
12.
You're not going to get 12 for
100%.
12.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how about this? For every question you get right,
Hold
you
on.
give me I give you $1. For every question you get wrong, you give me $1.
I'm going to ask 2 follow-ups. Follow-up number 1, are these questions that have right or wrong answers?
Yes.
Are these questions where we will have the answer to them tonight?
Yes. I have them written down. They're based on the men's 100. That's the
Oh,
topic.
well,
That's the
crap.
Jeopardy
Then I don't want to
question.
bet anything. I thought these were the Gordon medals where you're like, in 6 years, how
No,
many
no, no,
gold
no,
medals will
no,
Issam
no, no,
Asinga
no,
have?
no. This is just talking about the 2023 men's 100.
Okay.
And I got
Uh,
12 questions.
I think
Every right
6.
answer you get $1. Every wrong answer, you give me $1.
Okay.
So you gotta go 6
I'll
and
say,
6. You gotta go 500, break even.
yeah. I think 6 is probably a good number for me, not knowing anything else
Okay.
about the game. But go ahead, hit me with them.
Okay, you ready for the game? Okay, so you're playing? Dollar
I'm in.
wager? Okay, here we go.
I'm in.
First question. Talking about outdoor men's 100. We're not talking about the 200 races, 60s, or anything. Only men's outdoor 100 in 2023. How many losses in finals does Omanyala have in the men's 100?
3.
4. 4 losses.
Uh,
You got that one wrong. He has 4 losses. He's 9-4. 9-4.
okay.
How many losses
And
does Sembene have?
1.
He has 3. He's 6-3.
This is an interesting
0
game.
for 2. How many losses does Cravant Charleston have?
Oof. Well, okay.
In finals
I
only.
need to slow.
Semifinals and heats don't count.
Well, he
In
can't
the 100.
be. He can't be undefeated, because otherwise we would talk about him being undefeated. I know he's run some Continental Tours and he's won. Can I ask one follow up?
Sure.
Well, no, he just ran a Diamond League, right? He just ran in Monaco, and he didn't win that one. I'm gonna say 2. 2 losses.
Correct. He has 2
Yes.
losses. He's 5-2. He's 5-2.
Good. Okay, keep
How
going.
many losses does Asinga have
In the 100,
in 100?
0.
Finals only. 1 loss. He's 5-1.
Who did he lose to? You don't
Uh,
have it.
I don't have that information, but
Okay.
Eli has lost. So the point is, Omanyala has 4 losses. Sembene has 3. Charleston has 2 losses, and Asinga has 1. Okay.
Oh, there was a
Next
pattern
question.
there. I didn't
This
identify
is
the pattern.
this is the you should have saw that. All right, no pattern here. There's no pattern here. Zarnell Hughes has run 5 finals. What's his win-loss
Yes.
record?
Man, it's just a lot of win-loss stuff here. 5 finals. What's his win-loss record? Well, he definitely won the one where he ran 983. He won that one in Britain, right? The British champs in the rain.
Yeah.
He ran that. But I'm gonna say he lost everything else. I'm gonna say 2 and 3.
4-1. Ooh.
Oof. Man.
What's Fred Curley's win-loss? 4 of them. He's run 4 times.
Well, he's only lost once, so 3 and 1. That one I know.
Correct. Christian Coleman, 5. He's run 5 times. What's his win-loss?
Okay, I should know this one. Okay, so he beat Lyles once. Well, okay, so he lost USA's, obviously, to Charleston.
Yep.
He lost to Akeem Blake. He beat Lyles in I think he lost in New York, and I think he lost in he lost in Eugene, he lost in New York, and he lost in Bermuda. And then he won. I think he's 2 and 3.
Correct. 2 and 3.
Yes.
Noah Lyles.
Is that right?
What's his record?
Hold on. What were did I get the loss locations right? Bermuda.
Yeah.
Eugene, and okay.
Yeah.
Lyles' win-loss record. Are you gonna tell me how many
5.
competitions?
5.
Okay, so he lost to Asinga. He lost in Bermuda too. He lost in that race. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, he lost to Coleman. Hold on. So he lost to lost to USA's, lost to Coleman. I know at least once. Lost to Asinga. Has he? Wow, he has to have won. No, he won one of the Diamond Leagues. So he's either 1-4 or 2-3. I'm gonna say 1-4.
2 and 3. You got that one wrong. Last one of win-loss guessing. Tobogo, 4 races. What's his record in the 100?
In the hunt, I don't. 1-3.
0 and 4. He has yet to win 100.
See, my heart said that. My head said no. This goes to show you, fans, myself included, don't pay enough attention to wins and losses.
All right, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wrong, 3 right. But we're gonna make this last one a chance. Double the points. So
I feel like I got close on a lot of those, and I am really Manuel Hughes one, but all the other ones I was really close, and I feel like I should get some credit for.
But here's the thing: whenever I get close on things, you tell me don't matter. It's a loss. Like you don't give me credit for being close on all my near misses.
Fair.
So,
all right, hit me last one.
All right, last question overall. This is for all of it. This is to break even, or you owe me $3. Okay.
Got it.
Rohan Watson won Jamaica Trials. Raheem Forte won. Is it Ford or Forte?
I think it's Fort.
Got second, and Oblique Seville got third. Who has the most 100-meter wins between the 3 of those guys? Who has the second most and who has the third most?
Fort, I think, has the most, right?
Has the most wins?
Yeah.
Okay, so he actually has 0 wins. Fort is 0 and 7. Rohan Watson is 4 and 5, and Oblique Seville is 3 and 1.
Ugh.
So the whole
I gotta
point
admit,
of this
I knew it wasn't Seville. I knew it wasn't Seville, so I just took a guess.
The whole point of this game that I'm trying to get at here is there's no true dominant figure. You look at the 3 Jamaicans. Seville gets third, but he's 3 and 1, and Rohan Watson has 5 losses. He's 4 and 5, and he won trials. You look at the Americans. Everyone has losses. You look at the other international guys. They have wins and losses against each other. And it just makes you realize deciding who your 3 in the men's 100 is kind of like a toss-up. I think it's a toss-up race. I don't think we can say Curly is 100% the favorite. I think there's no favorite.
He's not. Okay, you did a bunch of questions. I'm going to do 2 follow-up questions to you. Number 1 of them is open-ended, and one of them has a yes or no answer.
Okay.
First one, open-ended one. Is the men's 100 the new men's 800?
See, that's the thing. I was thinking that. The only thing that's keeping the men's 100 from becoming the men's 800 is
700 meters.
It's 700 meters. And if we don't get a 9.7 in the final, if we don't get a 9.7 low, like sub 9.7, 9.75 or faster, and then it's the 800. Because if we get another just hodgepodge, a couple guys are on 8.3, the final is 8.3, 8.6, 8.9, and it's Hughes, Asinga, Charleston, or Hughes, Curly, Sabene, or Omanyala, Sabene, Coleman, or whatever. You're going to be you're not going to feel like the winner is truly the fastest man in the world. Like there's a good there's a chance that we watch that final and we're like, is he really the fastest man in the world? Or did he just have a good day? And that's what the men's 800 was. Oh, that guy just had a good day. It wasn't truly the best 800-meter runner in the world. Just whoever had a good day. And I am concerned, unless we get a true dominant performance where the winner runs in the 9.7s, and we're like, yeah, you clearly are the fastest man in the world, there's a chance that it could be kind of neutered and be like, like, I guarantee you the world title whoever wins the world title is not going to win the Diamond League final.
My second question.
Do you agree with that statement?
Who?
Whoever wins the world title won't win the Diamond League final, assuming they win it.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I believe that.
I mean, there's a good chance that you're correct, but I also think someone could catch fire a bit towards the end of the season and
Fair enough.
run off a little. I think what's interesting is there's so many possibilities of who could win it, and it's different than the men's 800 because the men's 800 doesn't have this grandiose title of world's fastest man that goes with it. So it's just a very interesting concept of we could have some, like if people thought Jacobs was out of nowhere, the possibilities this year, that podium could get wild. That podium could be insane. I mean, it could be Curly could get it back and then it's no big deal, but there are abilities out there that kind of are a bit out there. My next question, my last question, my final question about the men's 100 and one key participant in it. Issam Asinga, is he the boys' high school athlete of the year?
You know, some are saying that there are some other high school athletes who run 3:37 1500s that may be athlete of the year internally. No, yes, Asinga is athlete of the year. For those who've been listening to the podcast, our colleague Corey Mole posted a poll. Who is the biggest question we need to answer is who's athlete of the year, Asinga or Birnbaum? And I'm like, the guys run 4 flat, little up, sub 4, whatever. That's not the same thing as running 9.8. One is the 4th fastest in the world. The other is like the 180th fastest in the world. So,
have you revisited the poll?
I have revisited the poll. I texted Corey saying, do you still believe this? And he like laughed it off. He's like, LOL, it's just a poll. It's like, no, it's not just a poll.
It's not just a poll to me, sir.
Simeon Birnbaum was in the same category as Asinga, and they're not. Asinga, number 4 in the world. Birnbaum is
at the time
176
in the world. At the time he wasn't. But here's my rule. My shorthand rule is if you beat Noah Lyles, and you're in high school, you're the athlete of the year.
Yeah.
That's just that's easy criteria. All right. Before we go any further, though.
He's out AAU Junior Olympics, live on FloTrack all week. Check out all the content. So.
Should we talk about Wonderful Pistachios again, or do you want to go to another topic first?
Let's be wonderful.
All right. Hey, I love it. I love it. Wonderful Pistachios, that's our sponsor. The website is wonderfulpistachios.com. The green little wonders that can power up your day. They're a good source of protein, that tasty, healthy, wonderful pistachio. Each 1 ounce serving contains 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. One of the highest protein nuts out there. They're known for their fiber and better for you unsaturated fats. And those help keep you, feeling fuller longer. So, as I said before, whether you're dropping off the kiddos or running between meetings, fuel up with a healthy and tasty snack. The website, wonderfulpistachios.com, wonderfulpistachios.com. Check them out. So, do you want me to take it from here, Gordon, or are you up now?
You take it.
You've kind of been piloting. You've been crushing it. You're like, before the show started, you said, Kevin, just because we're at home doesn't mean anything changes. You're steering the ship. You're the captain. Like, let it roll. And then I think I asked you some question about the YouTube comments, and you just took it and ran with it and created a pretty dynamic 27-minute men's 100 opening salvo. It was incredible. Have you checked in on the chat since then?
No, I probably should do that. What's the chat saying? Oh, their
mics are off. Uh-oh. You got to read out loud.
Yeah,
don't read out loud.
Well, you don't. Hold on. Should you though? Because if I start reading a comment and it's a bad comment, I don't want to commit to the bad comment. I need to read it, confirm it's a good comment, and then read it out loud.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Do whatever you feel.
No.
I'm sure they enjoyed playing the game.
Are they going to show the races? We don't have. We're talking. Were they already? What race?
Race you talking about? Yeah.
Where are we?
This is a podcast.
It's a podcast.
Yeah. We did show the. We showed we could show some graphics, maybe. We could show some clips from news articles. Like the Thiago Braz doping suspension article. I don't think people will be too excited by that, but Thiago
It's not a
Braz,
podcast unless we talk about doping suspension.
correct. It's been a little bit, well, not long actually, because we talked about Amusan and the whereabouts failure and how she's provisionally suspended. Braz is also provisionally suspended by the AIU for the presence of Osterine. He is suspended until a final decision is made. I remember Braz. I mean, he's still actively competing, right? Was vaulting up until, the end of or middle part of July. But see that he 6 gold medalist in a very famous vaulting competition. Remember Rio in front of his crowd, that battle with Renaud Lavillenie, and he prevailed and got the gold medal. This year he had vaulted 567 outdoors, and then indoors. Indoors he had vaulted 567. Outdoors he had vaulted 571. So still very much a player, but is now provisionally suspended.
Yeah, Kevin, your webpage, your
Yeah, I'd
internet.
stop
You
doing
need to
that.
work on. You need to work on your internet, man.
Stop criticizing my internet, otherwise I'll close the box right now. So no more web pages
Okay.
for Kevin.
Like, are you
That's why I
playing like
needed you
Call
to.
of Duty on like the 4th tab? What are you doing?
You know what I was doing? I'll tell you what I was
What
doing.
were you doing? What were you
I
doing?
forgot the name of the drug, so I had to pull up the article to see that it was. I thought it was Osterine, but I wasn't 100% sure. For next Monday's show, I'm just gonna have notes on a
Yeah.
notepad. Forget the computer. It's just gonna be me, you, the mic, the webcam, and just a yellow legal pad. I'll write it all
Okay.
down. I thought my computer could handle it. It could not. I'll move on to the Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce story if you want.
Yes. Talk about Shelly-Ann.
Well, this one's kind of, we already knew about this. Someone asked her after her, the most recent race where she ran the 1083, how she was feeling. And she said, and I quote here, "If I'm being truthful, it's not 100%, but it is what it is." Talking about the injury that she's been dealing with. My opinion of it is this: she can still win the gold medal. She can still win the
Really?
gold medal at less than if she can run on the now.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
guessing. I'm guessing. I don't think the injury is going to get worse in the next 3 weeks. I think it's more likely that she's going to get better in the next 3 weeks because that was her first race of the year. And I think she can get into the mid 10.7s. I think if she get in the mid 10.7s, she could win. And on a good day, she could win gold. So, yeah, it's a bummer that she's not 100%, but it's healed enough to where she can go out there and run 10.8. Like 10.8 is still really fast. It's not the fastest she's ever run, but 10.8 is still putting your body under a lot of stress. So she feels like she can still go out there and compete and risk it, because she could sit out the season. She could just say, all right, I got a ton of golds. I'm going to come back. I want to be 100% for Paris 2024. And then I'll see what the future holds after that. But she's not doing it. So the fact that she's not doing it makes me think that she's confident that it will at least hold steady. Maybe it doesn't get any better, but also won't get any worse. I don't know. Again, you're just speculating, but the fact that she's out there is an indication that she at least feels like she can be competitive with the top women in the world.
I looked at this very differently. I read that sentence, that quote, "It is what it is. I'm not 100%," as she's not going to win. Yeah, she can still medal 100%, but winning is different from medaling. We looked at this women's field. There's 5 women who clearly, I think, have separated themselves: Alfred, Richardson, Sharika, Shelly-Ann, and Toulouse. So you could argue, oh, they all have a 20% chance of winning. I would probably give Shelly-Ann a 25%, maybe 30% chance of winning, and then give the other 4 women the remaining 70%. But after this, I think Shelly is more of a
Oh, it's just a
3%
quote.
chance.
No, stop.
It's not just a quote. She's setting people up. She's letting people know, just so you know, I'm not 100%. So we're prepared for when she gets third. We're like, oh, remember when she told us a month ago She's not 100%.
Yeah,
That's why she's
I
a
don't
third.
know.
She's letting the
Honestly.
story be written to let us know she's not 100%. If she was 100%, she wouldn't have said that. Which that makes
All
no
right, I got a
sense.
game.
I
I
don't.
got
I
a game
think
for
her
you.
percentage went in my mind from 30% chance to near zero. And now, if there was only two
First,
women, if it was like
stop.
50-50, if
Zero.
it was between
Stop.
Sharika and
Stop.
Shelly-Ann, and then you'd be like, all right, well, it's a toss up anyway. There's only two women. But there's four other women out there who can run elite times, who have shown consistency in 2023, and some have shown consistency over the past 3 years. I just think that when you have four other women and you're not 100%, you're not going to win. Like that's just math. If there was one other woman and you're not 100%, yes, you could still win. But four, that means you need four women all to run subpar and you to run above par for you. That's just not happening. She's great, but Sharika plus Toulouse plus Alfred plus Richardson is going to be hard to beat if you're not 100%.
I got a game for you. All
All right,
right.
hit
I
me
came
with the
up with
game.
this one on
Yeah,
my own.
okay.
The game is called What is Their Record in the 100? Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, go.
Yeah, she's what, 3-0 or 2-0?
2-0. Wrong. Your first guess was 3-0, so that's wrong.
Yeah.
Julian Alfred, how many wins does she have? We know Julian Alfred has 0 losses. How many wins does she have? Again, I'm going to answer. I can't look it up, so I'm going to answer with what I feel the right answer is.
In the 100?
100. Yeah, how many wins?
1, 2, 3. You can't count prelims, NCAA prelims. 4, 5, 6. She's probably won 6.
Wrong. 27. Next question.
She
Marie-Jose
hasn't
Toulouse.
run she hasn't run 2,700 meter dashes.
I said it's not the actual number, but it's what I feel is the correct
Oh.
answer. And I feel like Julian Alfred's been
So I'm
running
going up
27.
against
You
your
didn't listen.
feelings? Your feelings are the fact checker here?
Actually, I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone because that won't
No, don't. Oh yeah, no,
crash
no. We
everything.
don't want you to pull anything up. You're right. Don't pull
No,
anything
on my
up.
phone. On my phone. I got my phone. I got
No,
my
your
phone. This is a
phone is
fun game.
connected to your phone is connected
No.
to the same internet.
That's where you're wrong, Gordon. You don't know what I do here. Julian
You have
Alfred,
phone
how many
internet and
wins?
non-phone.
What did you say? What did you say for Julian Alfred? How many
I
wins?
said
Just
7.
answer the question. Stop
7.
ducking. You said 60, 67? No, it's not 67.
I said 7.
Okay, hold.
She's won
7
7
100-meter
finals.
finals? All right, hold on. It's going to take me a little while.
Okay, I'm
1,
gonna look it
2,
up.
3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. We got 1, 2, 3,
1, 2.
4, 5, 6. It's 6. Wrong. 0 for 2. Next, let's go to Toulouse. What's Toulouse's record? No, let's do Jackson. Here, this one's easy.
You
How
know,
many
this game
losses
is not
does
as
Jackson
fun. We
have?
already did this game. You're trying to
No.
do a
I'm trying to take your
reruns
game.
of
I know.
the. It's like playing the Lion King in 3D animation. Everyone wants the cartoon, not some virtual CGI shit. You're
How many
Lion King
losses?
CGI. I
Whoa.
am Lion
Whoa,
King
whoa,
animated.
whoa. How many losses does Shrika Jackson have in the 100?
2.
4. Wrong. Richardson. Well, you'll get that one
What are you
right.
trying to get to here? You're trying to show that all 4 of those women are have holes.
No, I'm literally just trying to do the same game that you did, but with the women. That's all it is.
But what's the point?
It's just that you are wrong. It's more just to prove that you get things wrong. So I felt bad. I went 3. I only got 3 out of 10. So
okay. Well,
how
I
many
thought you had
losses
the point. The whole point was I said Shelly-Ann saying she's
No,
not
what? You got a
100%
point.
makes her go down from 30% chance of winning to near 0. And the reason why is because there's 4 other very talented women who
Sure.
are going to take advantage of a subpar Shelly-Ann. And I think that's a very fair take. Shelly-Ann is the greatest. I get it. But we're talking about not 100% Shelly-Ann according to her own words.
Do you know what I rewatched the other day?
What?
The Usain Bolt rap video featuring Gordon Mack. It holds up. It's really funny still. Now, I know I am the intended audience for that because I work
Yeah.
with Gordon Mack and am very familiar with Usain Bolt's work and cover track and field for a living. But it still holds up. It was very good. I forgot he just sort of dances in that studio for an additional 20 seconds, and I just makes me laugh.
So you're saying that me counting out Shelly-Ann is like me predicting that Usain Bolt's world record was going to get broken?
No, you're reading way too much in everything. It was a complete non sequitur. It just maybe
Why are you bringing up non sequiturs? It's a podcast. I throw you the ball, you
because
catch it, and you do something with it.
no,
You don't take
it's
my
a pod.
ball, kick it into a different category and
That's
be like, hey, we're podcasting. No, you're supposed to
wait. Do you remember?
throw it back to me.
Remember, like 2 podcasts ago, maybe it was 1 podcast ago, when I was like, I got 5 questions. You're like, all right, I'd like to take your question, not answer it, spin it around, and talk about something else for 4 minutes. I'm just
Yeah, I was doing the
podcasts are
Harlem
born on that.
Globetrotters of podcasting. I was doing a little
All right,
spinning it on my finger.
podcasts are born out of non sequiturs. I just thought of it, and it was funny because you were talking about a Jamaican superstar. That's why it popped into my
Okay.
head. Oliver Hoare out of Worlds with an injury. Gordon, this is a
Yeah, it's a
bummer.
bummer. Posted on his Instagram that he's not 100%. It's going to have to take a break, get healthy. Talked about his injury. Said he had an MRI on what was his specific injury he was dealing with. I think he said in the previous post. I should have done my research. He said it's a groin issue. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he said he twisted his pelvis in Oslo,
Mm.
so then he had to pull out of the London Diamond League, and the groin issue isn't something that he's going to be able to handle through this next month, so he had to pull out of Worlds. It's a bummer. He's had a good post Wisconsin career to date. You know, he's breaking the Australian national record, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's broken the Aussie record. So I imagine he's going to get ready. He'll be in the mix in 2024. I mean, the 1500 is going to be a hard race to win
Yeah.
because Jakob Ingebrigtsen's in the field, but it's definitely not a hard race to medal in. I think he is a caliber to finish a second or a third. I would say that.
Oh, he definitely has the caliber. He definitely has the caliber to do it, but it's a hard race right now to medal in, and it
No,
feels like it's only getting tougher and tougher
I
because
meant
Jakob
hard
is
in.
making.
I meant hard in the fact that there's really only one person who's guaranteed a medal, which is
All
Jakob, and
right,
then the other
yeah,
two are
yeah,
up for grabs. That's what I meant by it.
copy. I get you. I get you. Yeah, and I like we talked before about how the men's 1500 represents so many countries right now. Like the medalists, the medal threats, the finalists are
Yeah.
coming from everywhere, and I mean, there's other great runners from Australia too. So it's not as if Australia won't be represented, but he was the one who, for a while, he looked like he was the best guy to get a medal, and I think that was leading into the finals of 1500 because the 1500 was a surprise. But leading into the finals of 1500, Hoare getting bounced in Eugene from the semis and not making the finals was the biggest surprise because I think a lot of people thought he could do what Kerr did. You know, international guy, goes to the NCAA system, actually beat Josh Kerr too, so their times overlapped, and then post NCAA's could go up another level and then grab a medal. And I think Hoare's like regular season runs have been really impressive, and he hasn't done it in a championship yet, but you don't really get that many opportunities to do it, so he's going to miss another one. But ultimately, he's looking long term, looking for Paris, and yeah, there's no reason why he can't battle with Nagoose, his teammate, Katir, when Whiteman is back, that Chariot, Kipsang. The list goes on and on of the quality of guys who can win a medal in the 1500, and it is a very long list, and he is, when he's healthy, in that group for sure.
I know this is kind of a tangent topic to what I was bringing up, but speaking
Oh,
of Olive,
my. How the turntables have turned.
we didn't talk about this on the last pod because so much happened from the two Diamond Leagues. But at the London Diamond League, current Wisconsin Badger and fellow Aussie Adam Spencer ran 331 in a 1500. So the Aussie, also Jackson Sharp's pretty good 1500 meter himself, but the Aussie Wisconsin connection is pretty damn good. Adam Spencer, 331. That is, I'm not sure where that is in the NCAA rankings, but like post, NCAA's, it's one of the top 5 all-time 1500s by a collegiate athlete. So Adam Spencer, he's only 21 years old. Look out for him and his teammate Jackson Sharp to dominate the NCAA in the 1500. So anyway, big shout out Adam Spencer and Wisconsin. So that's what I wanted to say. That's impressive. 331.
Yeah, no, it's great. You're right. It went under the radar because that race was so fast. The Spanish championships too were crazy fast. A lot of big names there too. The 1500 is just, it's totally changed from 5 years ago. Like how those races are run. Now there was fast diamond leagues before, but those were the exception. And anytime there was a championship race, it was just a sit and kick affair. And then now it's just every single race. People like run as if their time bonus is on the line at every single race. It's truly incredible the change that distance has overgone. And I say that because this just happens in track and field or in sports, the cyclical nature of things. An event might be down for 5-10 years, maybe even only 2 years, but then it can pop right back up. And likewise, an event can be super exciting and then it can have some lean years as well. And the men's 1500 right now is awesome.
Spencer went from not qualifying he didn't make the NCAA indoor mile final. Then he got 3rd in the 1500 and then he runs 331. That's wild.
Yeah. All right. What else do we have?
One other NCAA news, Sean Brosnan. For those you don't know, the Newberry Park coach that had the Young twins, Nico Young, the Salmon brothers, all the great, basically one of the greatest high school.
The greatest boys
greatest
team.
High school cross country team on the boys' side. He took a job at UCLA last year, and it's a one and done. He was not asked to come back for a second year. He posted on his Instagram that he wanted to come back, but UCLA decided to move in a different direction. He did pretty well. I mean, UCLA's distance program was, pretty solid. Let's look at their performances. They had Ronan Mohan Staggs ran 339 in the 1500. They had Jake Parker they didn't really have a good in the 5K. So they had a really good miler. Peter Harold ran a good steeple, ran 835 in a steeple. What was their cross country results though? I guess that's what you're ultimately going to be judged on is cross country. So what was their cross country finish? Try to remind myself. So the women finished 13th at the West region and the men finished 10th. But hey, West region's a hard region to get out of. And UCLA hasn't always been one of it's not like this is an Oregon or Stanford or Colorado, when it comes to the Pac-12. So I thought that it was a good year for you have a solid year and then you look into year 2 to kind of make a big push, make NCAAs as a team, bring on more sub-4 milers who qualify. But I don't know, UCLA decided to go a different direction. What are your thoughts on his short tenure as a collegiate coach?
Well,
and do you think he'll find a collegiate spot somewhere else?
Well, he said the reason he was let go was because other coaches were complaining that he was tampering with athletes before they were in the portal. Basically, that's what he says. That's what Brosnan is contending. Like that's where, and he also says he didn't do any of that. He didn't commit any violations, but that other coaches were complaining, and then that got back to his administration, and they just preferred to cut ties and not renew the contract. So if that's accurate, then it doesn't really have anything to do with performance, which aligns with what was going on because, yeah, the team was fine. The team was good. It's not as if they've been a juggernaut on the men's distance side the past 10 years. And then he came in and all of a sudden they weren't good. They had some good athletes. They had and they picked up athletes that were going to go there from the portal. So, I thought this quote from his, this is an article from Let's Run where it says, "We're an Olympic sport and schools just don't want to hear any noise," which again, this is his side of the story, but that sentiment, I think, tracks with a lot of other decisions that they make. Whereas big time college athletics, it's about just a couple of sports, and the other sports are thought of well after the footballs and basketballs of the world. So those decisions are made differently than the other ones. So it's like, hey, if this is causing a problem, if there's a headache related to this particular program or this school, we'd rather not deal with it. Like, we don't want to spend the time and energy and bandwidth to deal with those sorts of issues. Again, don't know the veracity of any of this stuff. I'm just saying his point of view, because that's what he's been alleging happened there, and we obviously haven't heard like UCLA's perspective from it. I don't think they would comment on a assistant track coach getting let go. I mean, that's not typical, or it will be some sort of boiler response. But yeah, man, the portal and all that other stuff brings on a whole new set of challenges. And he was an outsider. He didn't come up being it's not like he was an assistant coach the year before. He was a high school coach at one of the most high profile programs in high school running history. So that was his background in the sport. And I don't know how many people or how well connected he was either with other coaches.
It's interesting that it was potentially due to illegally talking to non-portal athletes. Is it athletes who then eventually went into the portal, or is it like just straight up, hey,
Well, so when they get into,
I'm going to
so
call
when they,
hey, Charles Hicks, come to my school
yeah.
or something. It's not like that, is it?
So once you're in the portal, you can choose, I want to be contacted or I don't want to be contacted. Once you make your selection, then if you put that you want to be contacted, coaches can contact you at that point. But yeah, like, you're not supposed to tamper, which obviously is a word you hear in a bunch of other sports, before they get into the portal. Again, not saying this is, I don't know the accuracy of these claims either way, but that's what he was saying. People were accusing him of contacting these athletes before they got in. Now, listen, it's big time college athletics. In other, I don't know about track. Maybe you know more about track, but in football and basketball, I find it hard to believe that every single coach is waiting the appropriate amount of time before an athlete goes in the portal, to make contact. Now, does that make it? Well, should the other coaches like it? 100% no. And I could see why, if you're in a non-football basketball sport and you're abiding by the rules, you want to make sure that's an even playing field for everybody else. But yeah, in football and basketball, I'm sure there's some gray areas being explored. Don't you
Yeah.
think? I mean, how do you know not to contact the athlete, right? Or had the athlete's already made their decision up at that point, right? So I guess
Yeah.
they've initiated the contact. But I mean, it's fine. It's just like NBA free agency. Wow, how do they all sign at 12:01 or 5:01 p.m.? That's crazy. They worked out an entire deal in 60 seconds, and now Shams and Woj are tweeting about it. That's insane. Like, I just find it,
Yeah.
especially with NIL and stuff and things getting offered. Not saying that's the case with track and cross country, but with football and basketball, where there's huge decisions being made and athletic departments living and dying on the success or failure of certain teams' performances. It just, and a previous era that was rampant with recruiting violations as it pertained to transfers. Like, it was the
Yeah.
Wild West before. So,
And I guess UCLA is thinking the last thing we want is an Olympic sport potential NCAA violation affecting football, right? Basically, or just the
well,
idea that this athletic department has an NCAA violation, it can murky the waters for their revenue generating sports in football and basketball.
yeah, yeah. The phrase you hear in NCAA investigations is lack of institutional control. Not
Yeah.
saying that this would lead to it, but if it's one and then another and then another and then another, then you always hear those stories kind of come out, and sometimes it involves one sport if it's a big sport, i.e. football or basketball, the ones that get all the attention, or it's a combination of here are these 4 sports and all of them we're doing a couple things wrong, and that means the department as a whole doesn't have its house in order. We need to hit it with violations. Yeah, like, so I understand what he's saying there. I understand what he's saying of, hey, for them, it's not even worth the headache to deal with it because it's such a small piece of the pie.
Do you think he'll get an opportunity at another school?
I mean, that's tough to say. I mean, he mentioned like pro coaching, which to me makes more sense, where you don't need to deal with that stuff at all,
But who would he coach?
right? Fast
Like
people,
what pro?
presumably.
But no, like it's not like there's like a so many pro coaching opportunities out there. Like our sport's kind of tiny when it comes to
There's not, right,
the pro
but
world.
there's also pro coaches out there whose resume when they started wasn't like him. They
Yeah.
were less established too. People coaching. All it takes is if you coach one pro athlete to success, you just build from there. That's all it takes is like one success story. And then you can get more people coming to you. And then before you know it, you have a group.
So what you're saying is I should like who's an athlete I could pretend I'm his assistant coach? Think I can convince one of the top athletes to put me down as their assistant coach, and my job is like I
Yeah.
tell them, "Hey, make sure you go run today." I just text them that
Yeah.
every day, and it's like, "Yeah, my
No, send
assistant
them their
coach
world ranking.
tells me to."
Send them their
I'll send
world
them world
ranking. That's
ranking,
what you
and
should
I'll
say.
tell them, "Hey, make sure you get out and get a jog in." And so then
Yeah.
I get credit for guiding him to run his miles once a day.
Yeah.
Who do you think
Yeah.
would be most willing to nominate me as their assistant coach? I
I
think
mean,
I
Paul
get.
Chalimo is always
I
likely.
think Paul. I think Paul might. Yeah, I think I can get Paul to be my athlete. I'm going to be his assistant coach. You know what I could do? Actually, I could probably get like a whole team. I could probably also assist. I could be the first ever assistant coach of a 110 meters hurdler and a 5K runner. So if I can,
Yeah.
I'll text Grant, hey,
Yeah.
make sure you run today. Text Paul, make sure you run today. And then I'm their assistant coach. And then when they win gold medals, I'm a gold medal winning coach.
Yeah. And then you build your
I have
group.
to make
Maybe
sure
get it.
I got to make sure Paul's coach and that Mike Holloway okay with this scenario
Yeah, I don't
because
think
they
they
need to
would be.
get. Well, they could have
0% chance of that.
Okay, here's the thing. They could have 99.99%. Just give me 0.01%. Do you think they'll be willing to give me 0.01% of the credit?
The credit or the money?
I don't need any money. This is all
Wow.
free. I coach for
Wow.
free. Yeah.
Wow. You do it for the
I'm just trying to
love.
get you get the internship, unpaid intern to get the work
Hmm.
experience. And then, in 2028, I'm getting paid to text you, have a good workout.
Some thank yous. Thank you to our sponsor, Wonderful Pistachios. Thank you to producer Tyler for
Yes.
recording with us on a Monday evening. Anything else, Gordon? Are you all good?
That's it. Thanks for everyone tuning in live on a Monday night instead of 12:30. We're going to be doing the same time the next 2 Mondays. I think a thing Mo's running next weekend, so she's running
Talk about
400, so
that.
we can react to that. See if we'll see her on a mixed 4x4 or something. There was a Kenya tried to qualify in the mixed 4x4, but got DQ'd because of some bullshit rule where
Whoa,
the
whoa.
person that bullshit is not a curse word.
Whoa, right at the
You
end.
can
You're
say
getting the E
bullshit
tag.
on
There's 3.
no. You can
People listen
you
to this
can
in the
say
car with the kids.
you can say BS
Well,
on
there we go.
any television show. Bullshit.
Yeah, but it has
That's not illegal.
Okay. Anyway, wrap it up. What do we got? They got DQ'd.
Anyway, they got DQ'd because one of the athletes, you know how you're supposed to be on the inside of like the exchange zone? They kind of started running into the exchange zone and they got like a running start into the exchange zone and it was considered illegal.
Gotcha. Can't do
I
that.
don't know. It'd be cool though to see, Mary Mora and whoever they have on they could put together
Yeah.
Manuel Career
Yeah.
can run a fast 400. I'd be cool to see a Kenyan mixed 4x4. I don't know. We'll see if they get
I'm
in.
into it.
They're ranked 16th. We'll see if they get in.
I love that you're keeping tabs. I love that you're keeping tabs on the mixed 4x4.
Hey, someone's
descending
got to
order
keep the
list.
FloTrack site running. I'm doing my
You
best.
don't you don't know anything about the win-loss record of the women's 100-meter candidates, but you know all about the descending order list for mixed 4x4. Good job.
Yes.
All right, next Monday, 6 p.m. Central Time, we'll be back to talk track with you all.
We'll have
See you then.
rankings. We'll actually have rankings, world rankings. Bye, everyone. Like and subscribe.